Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a MAC starter kit video because I've been using MAC for so long and it has been my favourite brand for ages. So I thought I would do a video just showing you the products that I would really recommend and show you some things that I would say if you're going to MAC for the first time, then you should consider buying some of these products. I'm not saying buy everything at once. My collection's kind of built up over the years, so yeah, I'm going to get straight into it. So I'm not going to go into skincare because I don't actually use MAC skincare, but I would say for kind of primer wise, if you have oily skin, this is all going to be kind of for my skin type, which is oily combination. So if you have dry skin, there's not that many options for you here, but if you have oily skin, the best kind of primer slash mattifier is Matte from MAC, which is basically just a serum, basically, like a gel, and it looks like this. It's in this kind of tube. It's kind of awkward asking for it though, because you can't just be like, can I have matte please? You have to be like, it's kind of like a serum, you have to like explain. But yeah, this is a great product. It is just a clear gel, and I would say use kind of half a pea size, and you just like basically squeeze it out. Good use me. Yeah, it's like clear and it makes your skin so super smooth and soft, and it's a great base for makeup, and it also keeps your skin matte for a long time. I wouldn't say all day, but I would say for a long time, and it definitely keeps my foundation on and helps it to last. So I really recommend this. I'm not sure how much it is. I think it's around 15, which I don't think that's that bad for a product. I've had this for so long and I'm nowhere near finishing it. Like, I'm not even halfway through the tube. You need the tiniest amount ever, so really recommend that. Now for foundations and bases. So I've mentioned this before, but this is actually the MAC tinted moisturiser, and it's called Studio Moisture Tint, and I've got the shade Light. And again, if you've got oily skin, this is amazing. Now seriously, it gives a nice coverage, but it's not like heavy. It's an oil-free tinted moisturiser, I think. It doesn't leave a shine on the skin. It doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't make you look really dewy, but it's not too matte either. It's kind of more satin, so it's really skin-like, which is what I love. Now you can just whack this on the skin and go out the door if you don't want to wear a lot of makeup, and it'll just even out the complexion. But sometimes I do wear it on like a daily basis, and it still gives me enough coverage to feel confident to go out or whatever. It kind of hides my redness, but still lets my freckles and things like that come through. So I really recommend this, and that's what it looks like. Now for people with dry skin or for people who don't want much coverage, Face and Body is amazing. I use the shade N1, and this is like the smaller bottle. You can get a bigger bottle than this, but I would say if you're just using it on yourself, just the smaller bottle will do. But this is like a really liquidy product. I've not got much left, but it's basically like water, so it can be kind of hard to use at first. Mine is absolutely manky, but you just kind of like pour it out, and it's really thin. I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to see, but it's really thin and watery and blends in like an absolute dream. Like, it's gone, like seriously, it just looks like skin. It feels so natural, and if you're going out on a night or whatever and you want your legs to look amazing without having to wear tights or anything like that, because I hate wearing tights, this makes your legs look like flawless, and it's just perfect. It gives you enough coverage to kind of hide redness, but still lets everything come through that you want it to. So if you've got really bad acne or something, this isn't great for you. It's just if you want a slight coverage, and if you've got dry skin, it's super dewy. So yeah, it's great for the summer, this product. Then we have Pro Longwear, which is one of my favourite foundations ever, but believe it or not, this is NC15, and it looks so orange. Like, this is the palest shade that they do in this foundation, I think. I know they do kind of 10 shades too, but I think that's only in the Pro stores. I'm not really sure, but this is kind of readily available, the lightest shade. So if you've got really pale skin, this isn't a great foundation because this is the lightest shade and it's like tanned. But the foundation itself is amazing. It's got great coverage. I'd say it's kind of medium coverage, so it covers quite a lot, but it's not like full, so it doesn't make it look like you've got a mask on. And this stuff literally lasts forever. Like, honestly, it's just perfect. I'd say it's kind of like a satin finish. It's great for people with oily skin because it just stays and sticks and just stays on the skin for ages. So I recommend this if you're wanting a foundation to last all day and if you have oily skin and you struggle with the longevity of your foundation. That's great. And it also comes with a pump. Unlike a lot of the other foundations from MAC, it actually comes with a pump. I think this is more like £15 or so. It's a bit more pricey. My favourite foundation from MAC, which I think I've mentioned before, is Studio Fix Fluid. Now this is a very kind of mixed reviewed product. A lot of people love it, but then there's a lot of people who hate it and think it's more like stage makeup. I feel like it's great as long as you only use a small amount. I'd say I use a pump and that's it. It's kind of not, it is matte, but it's still got a bit of a sheen to it, so it's not too mask-like. I just love this foundation. I think it's great, and it honestly just gives you a really, really nice all-over complexion, hides my redness amazingly, and just is basically great skin in a bottle. It can be quite cakey though, so don't layer it or add loads, just kind of slightly build it up rather than kind of like using 4 pumps because it will go cakey. The last foundation I have to talk about is Studio Sculpt. Now I'm trying to give you a lot of options here because there are so many different foundations from MAC that you can choose from and it's quite overwhelming. Obviously you can always ask someone there, but I don't know, I feel like you should know what you want before you go in. It's just the best idea. This is Studio Sculpt. It's in a tube, just like the Studio Moisture Tint. This is in NW15 and it's basically a paste. It's a gel formula, so it's quite thick and it can make your skin look so flawless, but it's very cakey if you use too much. The slight amount can make your skin look fantastic, but if you use too much, honestly, your skin will just look horrible. If you've got oily skin, I'd be careful with it because it can kind of look kind of dewy. So if you've got dry skin, it's great. It really is great. But yeah, if you want a full coverage foundation that lasts a long time, this is great, but be careful if you're oily. Make sure you set it with a good powder. Now onto my concealers. These are my 2 favourite concealers. I have 4 concealers from MAC, I think, but these are the 2 I would say you should choose from. So if you're wanting a concealer for under the eyes and for around the nose and just a light concealer that's going to cover redness or under eye circles rather than blemishes, this is great. Now this is I always forget the name of this, it's a Select Moisture Cover, and it's basically a liquidy formula with a doe foot applicator, which is great for putting under the eyes and around the nose, but it's awful if you have spots because if you put that on a spot and put it back in, you're going to be spreading germs like wildfire. So be careful with that. If you've got a blemish and you want to cover it with this, literally put it on your hand first and then use your finger. Just don't. It can really spread nasty germs. But this is the best concealer ever. It's really light but still gives coverage. It looks super flawless, and if you're wanting to cover blemishes, I mean, you could use this under the eyes too, but I'd say it's a little bit heavy. I have used it before when I've literally got no sleep. This is the Select Cover Up, so it's not the Select Moisture, it's the... Sorry if I've moved a bit. My camera cut off on me, which was great. It said it had 2 hours left, but it obviously didn't. So anyway, this is a really thick concealer. I'd say it's quite like a gel formula. It's quite thick, and I've had this for so long and still I slightly pinch it and it comes out. Like, you barely need any of this concealer, and I would say this tube could last you a lifetime. Seriously, it's amazing. You need the tiniest bit, just get it on the back of your hand with a brush and get it with a brush or your finger. And if you've got like a really bad blemish, it just like, you can just pinpoint it and it'll just vanish with this. It's just the best concealer. I would say even if you're not going to buy anything else from MAC and you're wanting a good concealer, this is great. I love it. And if you're going to use it under the eyes, I mean you can, but just go careful and make sure you use a good eye cream or moisturiser underneath it so that it doesn't go cakey. Now on to face powder. MAC do my favourite face powders ever. The first one is Mineralised Skin Finish Natural. Now this is completely empty and I've not repurchased it for actually quite a while because I've been enjoying my other powder. But yeah, you can see it's completely hit pan, but I've actually had 4 of these in the past. This is in the colour Light, and this powder is obviously a mineralised powder. And I don't actually know that much about mineralised products. I know they're like supposed to be better for your skin and stuff, but basically this is just a baked powder. But basically this is just like a baked powder and it's really light on the skin. It doesn't give too much coverage, but it does give a bit of colour and it just sets your makeup in place perfectly. So if you're looking for kind of a light powder, this is a great one to go for. And then I have Studio Fix powder, which is actually a foundation, but I do use it to set my liquid foundation rather than using it as a powder foundation. You can see this is definitely well loved. I've been through a lot of these. This is in NC15, my shade, and it comes with a mirror and a sponge, which I never use. But this is basically a really heavy coverage powder, but if you're using it to kind of, what's that? Oh, something's moving. If you use it to set your foundation, especially if it's a heavy foundation, use a duo fibre brush or a light brush, very light-handedly, and sweep it over the T-zone. This keeps you completely shine-free all day, and it's just, it's like a pigeon making a weird noise. Yeah. Anyway, this is the best powder ever, and I carry this around everywhere with me. I have another one of these actually in my bag. Okay, so if you're looking for a contour slash bronzer, I actually only use one from MAC because this is just the best one. And it's actually a blush, but a lot of people use this as a contour. And this is Harmony, which is just a matte shade. And it is just the most perfect bronzy brown colour. And it's not too orange or too brown. It is just perfect for contouring. You can probably see I've hit pan. It's super pigmented. You just need to sweep your brush in there lightly. It's just the most perfect contour shade. And if you love those contour cheekbones like me, this is amazing. And it lasts a really long time too. It's just the best. And then for blushes, now I have quite a few MAC blushes. But these are my 2 recommendations for people who are starting off, because I wouldn't say, if you're starting to wear makeup, I wouldn't say go for a shimmery blush. I would say leave that to the highlighter. Once you've got the hang of your blush, you can start going for something a bit more shimmery or like a baked blush or something like that. My favourite ever is Warm Soul from MAC. But I've got a powder and a cream blush for you here, because if you have dry skin, you'll want to go for a cream, most likely. And if you have oily skin, you'll want to go for a powder. But if you have normal skin, then you're lucky because you can wear any makeup you want. So the powder option is Melba, and this is a matte blush. And it's basically a mix of peach, kind of coral pink blush. This was the first ever blush I bought from MAC, and I think the blushes are so worth it. Now, there's some things from MAC which I would say don't bother with, and there's some things that I would say buy, and the blushes are definitely something I would say you should buy, because they are so pigmented, you barely need to use any of them, which means they last so long. I've had this for ages. I've been using MAC for so long, and this has never run out on me. The colours are just so gorgeous. They're all really natural looking, but they do some that are kind of more pink, and more a bit like kind of out there. So they've got a massive range of different kind of formulas, and not formulas, kind of more finishes. Like they've got like satin finishes. They're kind of like the lipsticks that have different finishes. The baked blushes are just amazing, but I would say if you're starting off, Melba's great. It's just a really pretty natural colour. And for the cream blushes, this is just a cream blend blush and it's in Britwit. Mine is actually quite embarrassing to show you because I use this with a duo fibre brush, but I kind of get the product with a duo fibre brush and then stipple it onto the lid so that I don't have too much. But this is the colour. It's just a very natural creamy pink colour, which is just there. And these blushes blend amazingly and just leave a gorgeous finish on the skin. It's not too dewy, but it's not like a powder finish. I also have a cream and a powder option. The cream colour bases from MAC are gorgeous and it's one of the first things I actually bought from MAC. This one is Shell and you can see this is definitely well loved. These are so creamy, they can be used on the cheeks, the eyes, the lips if you get a nice pink colour. This is like a taupey, pinky, creamy, shimmery shade. It's beautiful. And on the tops of the cheekbones, it's really pretty. And I have oily skin and I still use this, so even if you have oily skin, use it. You can always set it with a bit of translucent powder off the top if you feel like it's a bit too shiny. But yeah, this is beautiful and a gorgeous shade, and if you're looking for a cream highlighter, this is gorgeous. And you may think it's like tiny, but it lasts so long. And my favourite highlighter of all time ever is the Mineralised Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. This is probably one of my most used favourite products ever from MAC. Just look how beautiful it is. It's just like a baked highlighter. You can probably tell it doesn't even look like I've used it because I literally just dab my brush in, and the cheekbones, brow bones, down the nose, chin. I can't talk today. This is just the best highlighter. It gives such an amazing glow. Mind you, if you hate shimmery cheeks, this is not good for you at all because it's really shimmery. But if you're looking for a really shimmery glow that's just going to make you look so healthy, Soft and Gentle is definitely the way to go. Now let's move on to eyebrows. Now my favourite product from MAC for eyebrows is Fling Eyebrow Pencil, and it's just as eyebrows, but if you just say eyebrow pencil when you're there, they'll know what you mean. This is a twistable kind of eyebrow pencil. These don't twist down, by the way, so however far you twist them up is how far they're going to stay. So don't be twisting that bad boy too far. This can create an eyebrow just by itself, really, without even having any hairs. Like seriously, if you have rubbish eyebrows, these will just create the most amazing eyebrows. If you've got blonde or fair hair, Fling is the perfect colour. These are super duper pigmented and the perfect mix between kind of a waxy product but a product that's going to stay in place, because if your eyebrow pencil's too waxy, it's not going to stay. It's going to smudge when you touch your eyebrow and be like halfway down your face. But also if your eyebrow pencil's too hard, it's not going to be pigmented enough to kind of go on your eyebrow. So this is a perfect blend between them both, and it stays on all day and just creates the most amazing brows. Two eyeshadows that I would say you should purchase from MAC when you first ever go, if you're looking for two shades that look perfect together. These are probably the shades that I would say definitely purchase if you're looking for eyeshadows. So the first one is Naked Lunch, and it's just a gorgeous champagne-y, will that focus? Probably not. Gorgeous champagne-y, pinky, sheeny, gorgeous shade. It's beautiful on the brow bone, all over the lid, in the inner corner. You could even, at a push, use this on the tops of the cheeks for a highlight. I love that eyeshadow. And as a kind of darker colour to add definition, and just to go a bit deeper, I would say Satin Taupe is perfect. It's slightly shimmery, it's just the most gorgeous bronzy taupe colour. Without being like a boring colour, you can put this all over the lid and blend it out and smoke it underneath the lash line and it'll look gorgeous. Or you could just use it in the crease just for some definition. It's such a beautiful eyeshadow. I would say if you're buying first time from MAC, I would say the lipsticks are probably the thing that you'll first ever want to purchase. So I'm just going to mention two that are like super natural colours. because I wouldn't say go into MAC and buy a red the first time, because you may not use a red a lot, but I would say buy natural colours that you're going to wear, and then after a while buy darker colours, because you might not use the dark colours, and spending £15.50 they've now gone up to, spending that much on a lipstick that you won't use is just a bit silly. So unless you wear red all the time. I don't actually have a red lipstick from MAC. I've got a top 10 MAC lipsticks video if you want to go see my favourite ones, but these are the two I would pick. So the first one is Syrup, and I only recently bought this, but it's a bit of a deeper nude, so I think this would literally suit every skin tone, and it's kind of like a Your Lips but better colour. You can see how new this looks. It's amazing. I love getting new lipsticks. And this is just a beautiful, beautiful shade. It's kind of slightly purpley, but nudie and just a really neutral colour at the same time. And this is a luster, so it's super duper shiny and pigmented. I love this lipstick. And this is probably one of my all-time favourite lipsticks from MAC. It's Hue, and if you're looking for a perfect pinky nude, this is the one to go for. This is a glaze, and it's quite sheer and just super easy to wear. So if you're wanting a lipstick that you can just whack on, even without a mirror, this one is the one to go for. And that's there. So you can see how different they are. Two options there. If you're going to MAC for the first time, these are the products I would say check out. Obviously don't go and buy all of it at once. This is stuff that I've collected, and I do have more things from MAC that I love, but these are my top products that I would really highly recommend. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, and please like the video if you enjoyed, and comment below and give me some ideas or comments. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye! Now, if you're looking for a bronzer or... what is that?